For just the fourth time in their past 18 games, the Montreal Canadiens have lost. And it comes at the hands of one of my other favorite teams, who is trying to get back in the swing of things in the dub column. They have been losing a little bit as of late. They've only been scoring 1 goal per game as of late. The Detroit Red Wings have defeated Montreal, getting their revenge. 4-2 victory in Detroit, Michigan. And this game is a pretty bad one for the Montreal Canadiens fans because Lane Hutson did not score himself a point, thus ending his, a 9-game point streak? 9-game assist streak? I mean, yeah, he had assists as most of those points. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. 9-game point streak, 9-game assist streak, snapped at the hands of Detroit. Of course, this is the Red Wings taking revenge after the Wings lost to Montreal 2 times on a back-to-back situation in the month of December. Samuel Montembeault had both of those games as well. But this game, pretty tight-fought game, honestly. I didn't watch all of it. I watched a good chunk of it on my, let's just say, different streaming service, not the regular ones that we're used to here in Canada because of regional blackouts. But this game featured good offense and good pace, lots of good opportunities for both sides. It's just that the Red Wings ended up capitalizing on them more than Montreal. And ultimately, talking about Lane Hutson, I don't want to make it seem like this was a game where he was totally shut down. But wow, was Lane Hutson not as effective in this one, I felt, in comparison to some of the other games he has had. And I think for the Red Wings, a lot of their game plan in this one was to isolate Lane Hutson, keep him to the outside when the Canadiens would get onto the man advantage, which the Habs did have multiple power play opportunities in this game. But guess what? The Red Wings were 3 for 3 on the PK. You could definitely sense that Detroit was keeping an eye on Lane Hutson and Patty Laine as the Canadiens were moving it around the zone, trying to open up that 1T. It's almost like the discount Alex Ovechkin play at this point, except the Washington Capitals over the span of many decades were able to find multiple ways to get the puck to Ovi, and plus Ovi is just literally the best sniper of all time. Patty Laine almost played that discount role here, with Lane Hutson trying to feed him and the Red Wings not really giving too many lanes or open opportunities for that to transpire. It's why Lane Hutson's point streak came to an end today. It's why Patrik Laine didn't get himself a goal. He had an assist. Really nice to see that out of Patty Laine. But also for Laine, the guy only had himself 2 shots on goal in the entire game. He's not used to that. He's shooting a lot more most nights. So Detroit definitely did something well. And for themselves, too, the Wings had 45 shots on goal on Samuel Montembeault. He had stopped 41 of them. So Montembeault, all things considered, had a reasonably good night. It's not every day that you're still able to post up a 9-10 plus save percentage and let in 4 goals. So while the Canadiens did have their chances, Cam Talbot stood tall, and the Red Wings just had more chances, I would say. This was Detroit powering up and trying to get back into the dub column, which helps them out in the standings too. We had spoken about this earlier in today's show, but Montreal is on that playoff hunt. They're in the wildcard spot, or at least they were earlier this morning. Who really knows what things are going to look like now, especially since other teams like Philadelphia, Detroit, Montreal are all playing today. Columbus is also doing their own thing. So things might change drastically by the time tomorrow morning comes around, but for the Red Wings, they needed to get back on track. And oddly enough, it comes in a game where they don't have Patrick Kane because he's out. I mean, talk about how weird things can work sometimes, right? Patrick Kane absolutely lights the league on fire for that brief stint after Todd McLellan gets hired. Then he goes cold. Then he has a whole bunch of minuses in a row. I drop in my fantasy team, and then he leaves the team because of an injury. Patty Kane's negative streak coincides with the Red Wings starting to lose all these games. And then when he leaves the lineup, that's when the Red Wings come out here and play the best game they've had in a few days. It's kind of weird how that happens, but anyways, let's go over each of the goals here and talk about the chances that actually converted. First goal of the game scored by Jonatan Berggren, assisted by Dylan Larkin, just with 7 minutes to go in the first period, making it 1-0. The Wings are able to reverse the play in their own zone. It's charged down the middle by Dylan Larkin. He beats his defender out wide, goes into the corner, throws it to the side, where Jonatan Berggren picks it up and fires it top left corner. What a beautiful play by Larkin to get around the D. What a beautiful shot by Berggren. This was excellence. And unfortunately for Samuel Montembeault, he didn't really have a chance here. Larkin doing most of the work to get around. I believe it was Hutson that he got around. Yeah, that's exactly it. Man, I was already thinking about how Hutson didn't really look all too great in this one, but he kind of gets burned by Larkin on this goal here. Sorry to say, but I think the Wings had the answer. With 4 seconds to go in the first period as well, on the power play, the Wings had themselves some more opportunities, but the power play just expires. Moritz Seider goes over to Raymond. He cuts in over to the side. DeBrincat shoots, and he has a wide open net because Montembeault bit on the Raymond vision there. So 2-0 game at the end of the first period. Berggren and DeBrincat are your goal scorers. The second period, it's Andrew Copp who makes it 3-0 off of a short-handed goal. Yeah, you want to talk about the Wings and their penalty kill? How about that? Try on a short-handed goal for size. It's Patrik Laine whose centering pass gets thrown towards the goal. It's blocked by Edvinsson, and the rebound pops out into the neutral zone, where Andrew Copp picks it up and comes in and scores short-handed. The Canadiens, though, quickly fire back. Kirby Dach, assisted by Dvorak and Gallagher, makes it 3-1. This is after the power play expired, so it was regular 5-on-5 play. Matheson throws it towards the goal. The rebound is checked down there. It's a big scramble. Dach eventually is able to wrap it around and get the puck to go into the open cage. But Dylan Larkin on the power play just 2 minutes later makes it 4-1 Detroit. The Wings moved the puck around really nicely here. Lucas Raymond, I think, stood out in a really positive way for most of this game. Dylan Larkin, though, is just able to barely squeak it under the pads of Sammy Montembeault. Give it 4 more minutes, and Kaiden Guhle gets a long shot from the point that goes in by everybody as well. I mean, it just beats everybody clean. The assists go over to Patrik Laine and Kirby Dach, so Laine got himself a point. Kirby Dach had 2 points in this one. Kaiden Guhle a goal, Dach the other goal for Montreal. Meanwhile, the Red Wings getting involved on the special teams with shorthanded goals, power play goals, and pretty diversified production from most of their guys. The way Lucas Raymond is able to move and how he shimmy-shammies, how he shifts his weight to protect the puck and open up other angles, it's so Mitch Marner-like. And for me, I'm feeling pretty good about myself because I remember back in the 2020 NHL Entry Draft, for all the scouting report videos we had made about Lucas Raymond, we were always throwing that label around. He's like the Swedish Mitch Marner, the way he moves and the way he opens things up and the way he dangles and how he sees the game. Lucas Raymond was such a superstar in this one that for the Red Wings, without Patrick Kane, they were able to get it done against a hot Montreal Canadiens team, dethroning Lane Hutson in the process. No more points for Lane in this one, unfortunately, and also a dash, I'm pretty sure, too. Let's go over to Lane Hutson. Yeah, he was a -2 in this one. And, of course, he was the second most played defenseman on the team. Unfortunate for Hutson, but you're going to have to go through those growing pain games. You can't always be on the winning side here. I do think that the Wings did an exceptional job in shutting down Lane Hutson, and I can say that because I'm a fan of both of these teams. Just the way that Hutson was robbed of any lanes to the goal or any really dangerous opportunities. Like, Hutson was at the point, holding onto it, and holding onto it, and holding onto it. He'd pass it to Matheson, then Matheson would go back to Hutson, and then he'd hold onto it even more. The Wings were just giving him nothing to work with, and I think that's a play that a lot of other NHL teams might have to pay attention to if they want to figure out how to neutralize Lane Hutson. So, of course, you know, for a Canadiens fan who's watching this video, like, what the hell? Like, why are you talking about him? Like, you want to see Hutson do well, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course, but still, I have to give credit where credit is due. The Red Wings did a good job in turning this guy away. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Red Wings and the Canadiens. Both teams had chances, both goaltenders played exceptionally well, but the Wings ultimately were the better team. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.